And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Women of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'm fired up today, and we're gonna watch a video and react to it. It's going to be from someone I've never heard about before. Someone just sent me this video, never seen more than 3 seconds of it, and it is called Single at 23 While Probably Be Single for Life. That's gonna be an interesting one. And it's from a woman named Myra West, I suppose. So let's get started. Go.
Thank you. I haven't had any close calls. I haven't had any involvement with men. It's crazy. And it's not because I haven't wanted to. I haven't ever been pursued by a guy. And I don't believe in conventional modern day dating or casual dating. And I don't have any desire to meet a stranger and then suddenly be expected to be romantic, because that's what a lot of modern dating is. Let's back up a bit.
That's a very interesting start to a video. So she's never been properly, no one has ever come up to her and wanted to date her, at least from her experience. It's very often that women actually have guys who try to actually talk to them, but then, you know, they don't, like, those guys that do manage to talk to them are extremely bad at talking to them, so it actually looks as though they're not trying to get the girl on a date. But, you know, I've just seen that so many countless of times where men are actually trying, but they're trying very badly to, you know, to get the woman on a date with them. And then, you know, they felt rejected and they gave up. Very often, those are feminine guys that don't know what they're doing. They have no self-worth very often, and they're so scared to talk to this girl. So I think that's kind of more what the situation is. But, you know, let's hear more about what she has to say. But I really like what she's saying. I don't like the modern dating way of doing things. 110% woman. Seriously. It is a horrible system that's going on these days. Casual sexual relationships and modern dating is just warped. It is sickening, okay? And that's one of the, you know, huge things that we're trying to solve with the Men of High Value movement and the Women of High Value movement. They're actually the same movement, but, you know, it's good.
I turned 23 recently. And turning 20...
She speaks very softly, so I'm just wondering if the sound is good. And if it is good, make sure you comment below and tell me that it is good. Because we can't have another video with bad sound. Come on, guys. So we'll increase it a little tiny bit, just in case. Let's go.
Has made me think a lot about something that I already think a lot about, but now I'm thinking about it a little bit more. And that is the fact that when I was younger, at this age, I thought I would be married. I actually thought I would be married at about age 22. And it's pretty crazy that at my age now, I'm not only not married, but I'm also very single and with no prospects.
What a wonderful dream. Seriously. For a woman to be, you know, in her teenage years and think, you know, I'm going to be married by the age of 22, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful and amazing. Now, obviously, she has some interesting views on marriage, because no matter who you are, you're going to get disappointed about what it turned out to be. But what's the option? What's the other alternative to marriage and having a family? All of us want to have a family. All of us want to have kids if you're normal, okay? And if you haven't been, you know, ruined by your environment. We grow up and we want family, okay? And she did too. But then you get to the point of where she is right now, no prospects, like it's not even looking like she's ever gonna have a family. Very interesting, and it's extremely sad that it has come to this. And whose fault is it? It's not her fault. It's men's fault. Always. It's always men's fault. Why? Because we're the leaders. We're the initiators. We're the ones that are the movers and shakers in society, right? Or does that mean that women can't move and shake and actually create, you know, relationships from them initiating it? No. Actually, that happens very seldom. And if it does, it's probably because she was extremely masculine. Okay? And she got what she wanted, but she didn't get what she wanted because she ends up becoming extremely disappointed when she actually is married to a feminine guy. You know what I mean? So men have the responsibility, not only, we have the responsibility as a collective of men to make sure that all women and children are provided for. And your job as a man is to do your duty of taking responsibility and committing, for life with your sexual partners. And only have sexual relationships with those that you commit to for life. So, we've barely started. Okay, let's go.
And I have pretty much 100% knowledge. I'm pretty much 100% certain that I haven't even met the right guy. Pretty much 100%. Yeah, so that's a predicament.
That is a predicament. And it's kind of sad. And maybe we could fix it. I hope she sees my response video, and I'll see what we can do.
I want to just talk about being single and what that's like and how I feel about it and how I got here. Oh, and if I'm happy about it. We'll see. I'll start at the very beginning because that's basically all I know how to do. Ever since I can remember, everything that I've wanted in life, all of my goals, everything I've ever wanted to pursue, I've always known that I want to do it beside someone, that I want like a teammate and a partner and to just grow together and live together and have someone by my side through all of life. I never ever believed in casual dating or dating just for fun or dating someone with the knowledge that you don't want to marry them or you don't expect anything serious to come from it. So in high school and beyond, I was always looking for, not really even looking, not actively looking ever, for the one. I had no interest in anyone other than the one. So
that's amazing. That's what we want. There was a wonderful girl who wrote me one time explaining to me that she was not interested in any casual relationships as well because that would be a waste of time because most probably that person is not going to be like she wants to save herself. Okay, actually she was talking about sexual relationships. She said she wanted to save herself for her future husband, which meant that she was already married. That's amazing. When a woman thinks like that she's already taken, she's already married, even though she hasn't even met the guy yet, that is the correct mindset for a woman to have. Because that means that you're doing everything that you can to prepare to be ready for when that man arrives, for when that man comes, okay? Because he will enter into your life if you are ready, sometimes, yeah. So that's kind of what I want to say on that.
That kind of immediately made me realize that I didn't have any option. During high school, I was also incredibly shy. I was thinking maybe that had something to do with how I never dated or anything, but it doesn't because I didn't have anyone that I wanted to date there. But I have been haunted by something that has followed me into adult life, and that is that no man has ever really pursued me, apart from one or two. I mean, I've just never really had any guy show interest in me.
They did. A lot of them. But unfortunately, they didn't know how to talk to you. Okay? Men are just very bad at talking to women because women are absolutely amazing. And that's kind of the experience that women grow up with, especially if she's, at that, if she's shy. Could you imagine someone who's like, if she's shy, she's not going to be able to connect well with someone who is boisterous and takes massive risks and takes massive action and does whatever and initiates tons of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she'll be kind of hesitant towards that stuff because there's polarity there. When the man, begins to talk to her, she's like, why are you talking to me? You know what I mean? That's kind of what a shy person would do, But that's what's necessary. And then when she does that, just the reaction, just her face, says, why are you talking to me? That would be a rejection in a man's mind immediately that, oh, she's not interested. Oh, okay, yes, very nice meeting you. And, and she's like, and she didn't even think that that was someone actually who wanted to talk to her or date her. Now, in many ways, fortunately, okay, because a woman who actually has the ability and is available and wants someone to talk to her and initiate things and actually, develop a relationship with her, the probability that they would have sexual relations together is pretty high in today's society, right? Even though she says that I didn't want casual dating, well, if you were in a relationship with the guy, in many ways, very quickly, you wouldn't be casually dating anymore. You'd be in a relationship, and that's when you wouldn't be a virgin anymore. Fantastic for you if you still have not dated anyone like her, okay? That's amazing, because there's so few of these women left, okay? And a man of high value, that's exactly what he's looking for. Someone who doesn't have baggage. Now, you might say that her not having dated one is baggage. Okay, in my opinion, no, not at all. The baggage is when she has dated someone and that didn't work and it was that guy who left her. That's baggage. That's like an open, box, which is kind of difficult for a man to handle, but he can if he understands the principles and he can, find ways of making her now absolutely amazing. For that, you kind of need the reset button, though, I have to admit. What is the reset button? Well, comment down below if you want to hear what the reset button is, and I might make a video on it, unless you guys comment now during the live chat, and I'll actually answer it at the end. What is the reset button?
I mean, not just interest. I mean, of course, guys have looked at me before or shown some sort of interest, but I've never really been actively pursued by anyone.
That you know.
And I've been recently questioning why that is, but I think I know the answers, roughly. And I think it is a little bit between men feeling intimidated by me. Also, I think if it's a stranger, I think that they assume that I am dating someone or that I'm not interested or something. And I think also because I'm very, 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 very shy and quiet around people in general, but also around men.
You know that men these days, unless they're actually actively trying to be players, okay, they have very low self-worth. Even players have low self-worth. If you think about it, everyone has low self-worth. You know the originator of that? Their environment, meaning their family, their upbringing, and school, actually. Like school, by nature, gives you low self-worth. Did you know that? Because you're not allowed to fail at school, okay? If you fail, then you're not good. Why did you fail, And so you basically are put in a box of like, you're not good enough. And if you're not good enough, your self-worth is low, which will cause you to be hesitant and to not take risks and to not actually initiate things. This is what's happening to men these days. They're feminine because they haven't grown up with fathers who actually did take risks, who actually went out there and took massive action. There's a lot of men these days that have never, properly been taught self-worth, okay? It's a huge problem because you get situations like this. But again, I'm not for dating in that sense of the word, but at the same time, for someone who hasn't heard and understood the women of high value movement, the men of high value movement, what are they going to do? They don't know the stuff that I teach. So yeah, they should be dating, right? But if you've heard of my stuff, then apply my stuff because that stuff is going to give you joy, bliss, and happiness. But if you haven't heard of my stuff, then okay, let them date. But, let's figure out why dating hasn't worked for them. And I'm just basically telling you right now what's going on. And that's basically that the men that has approached her are scared of her because they're feminine and they felt rejected even though she didn't know that she was rejecting them or that they were interested in the first place. I kind of repeat myself a lot in this video so far, but it's okay. This is going to get better.
So those kinds of things kind of make me wonder if I have any chance at all of finding the right guy, or if I was thinking if I did meet the right man today or tomorrow, I would mess it up because I probably wouldn't speak to him. And if I liked him at all, I probably wouldn't look to him, and I definitely wouldn't speak to him. And then if he was the right guy for me, I would kind of think that he's not going to be extremely outgoing, because that's just my type, is a little less outgoing.
That's exactly what I said earlier. See? She needs someone who is on her wavelength, someone who's a little bit shy, a little bit timid like her, so they can be shy together and be friends for life, you know? That's kind of what she's hoping for. Obviously, that doesn't really tap into a man's potential, okay? A man should be able to do both. He should be able to be, you know, create a cozy environment for people, okay? You know, in terms of not being loud and boisterous and type of thing, but he should also have the other aspect of taking risks, taking massive action, and doing the things that he wants because he wants it, that are good for other people around him, if that makes sense. So, will she find someone? Yes, she absolutely can, but it's not her job to actually initiate or talk to a person. She's actually feminine here, okay? This is good. Women being vulnerable and being afraid of going up to a man, that's normal. That's wired into women's brain, okay? But they need to make themselves somewhat available in the environment of men of high value, okay? Like if she's just stuck in her room and she doesn't meet anyone ever, then it's going to be difficult for her to find the man that she's looking for. Like, if that makes sense. She needs to go to an environment or place where there are men of high value. But, you know, it's still an inferior product you're going to get, because you're going to get the normal thing of one person, one man, one woman, which is an inferior product in terms of achieving joy, bliss, and happiness. Stick to the end.
So I feel like we could meet and we would both just maybe ignore each other and then never see each other again. So yeah, I spent my entire life reading books about dating and marriage, reading books about divorce and conflict, reading books like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It was in addition to a bunch of personal growth books, because all I wanted was, and all I still want, is to grow into my best version of me and to be ready for when I meet the right guy.
Amazing. Can you want more than this from a woman? Really? Someone who actually wants to grow? Now, obviously, she says that right now, and it sounds wonderful and fluffy dreams and all that stuff. And yes, she's read all the books, so everything's going to work out in marriage, right? No, unfortunately, it's not. You know, she's right now in fantasy land. If I just met my guy, then it would be the end of all my problems. No, it will be the beginning, my dear. Okay? Once you get married and you find the right guy, you're gonna get screwed over for life, okay? Why? Because you will be put in a situation where you, as a woman, were not designed to be. And what am I talking about? It's impossible for me to go through an entire video without explaining 3 in Love for you guys. I can't do it, okay? Because I know what happens to women once they get married. I know what happens to women once they get into a committed long-term relationship and hope that that's going to be the end of all their problems. Sorry, it's not. Because you're going, like, she's in fantasy land right now, but it's better than the place she's in right now. Does that make sense? Like right now she's single, she wished she'd have someone, she just wants to grow, and she's read all the books, she's ready, amazing, okay, vulnerable, feminine, wonderful creature, okay, and then she finds the guy, but what's gonna happen? She's gonna manage to be in the in-love phase for like a year, 6 months, 3 months, or maybe even 2 years, but then the attraction completely dies off. Completely. Have you ever been in the situation, now I'm talking to women, have you ever been in a situation where you're not attracted to a guy ever, and you've been in a relationship? You're just kind of done. Like, this is not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you go through these issues that you have with this dude that you used to be in love with, and now you're not in love with him anymore, but you enjoy being with him and having him in your life because it's better than having no one, okay, right? But then you end up having problems and issues because you begin to nag at him and what they call shit test him to see how he's going to react. And, you know, you begin like subconsciously to give him problems and issues to see if he's a good fit and if he's fit enough for you. And the majority of time, men fail those tests, which means that you end up having issues and problems with that dude, okay? And you're just like, I'm not attracted to him, and it's not worth it. And the way that he responds to me is a turnoff. Like, even when he rejects me, okay? Normally when guys reject girls, it actually, if he's a masculine man about it, very often women enjoy the rejection, although they hate the rejection at the same time, but that creates the connection between them in many ways, okay? But if the man doesn't know what he's doing and he's just rejecting her while at the same time turning her off, then a woman is like, what? Why am I doing this? And then she leaves and she's like, it's better for me to be single. I'm just saying that in monogamy, these are the issues at hand. You guys are two different people, male and female, and you speak different languages that you both cannot learn in monogamy. Because women were not designed for monogamy. Funnily enough, men weren't designed for monogamy. What's the solution? Well, women were designed to have, what she says here, friends to spend time with, to bond together, and to, have activities and blah, blah, blah. She's talking about a woman. She just wants women in her life, okay? A man is not going to give what she's thinking about, okay? She's read all of those, love relationships books and marriage books and all that stuff and dealing with conflict, whatever. Amazing books in order for you to actually have a wonderful time with women, okay? Men operate on a completely different mindset, but they operate perfectly. Not perfectly is the wrong word, but they operate at an optimal level when there's three women who actually are harmoniously living together and they have a family together. Okay? But the man has to understand how the women become harmonious together. That's his responsibility, and that's what he does by taking the blame. Trying to explain to you guys the 3 in love concept, but I'm just saying to you guys that if she got what she actually wanted, it wouldn't work. If she got what she really wanted, it wouldn't work. Okay? Because monogamy as a system, by default, doesn't actually give women what they thought they would get when they got married. They're gonna be fish out of water in monogamy. Not because they don't have multiple sexual partners or multiple male sexual partners. They don't want that. Women just want one. They want the one. Okay? But they want a man that has all these feminine qualities and that can spend a lot of time with her and that can, go to the mall together and travel together and do this and that together and take care of the kids together and blah, blah, blah. Except for the fact that they have two completely different minds and they're going to be polar opposites in everything that they do, which means there's natural contention happening. Naturally. Okay? So it requires extreme work ethic to actually handle. And what is work ethic? That's masculine. So it makes you as a woman masculine when you enter into that relationship. I'm not trying to scare you off from relationships, okay? It's better than being single, absolutely. But if you understood how you could have joy, bliss, and happiness by actually having access to the system that we teach on this channel, oh my gosh. Like you're allowing yourself to actually step into your role as a mother, as a homemaker, as a cook, as a designer, as a singer, as someone with hobbies and talents, as, bringing those kids up and teaching them, homeschooling them, growing your own food, all of that stuff that you've been, that women normally want to do, but they never have the time to do it. Guess what? In the 3 in love system, that's what you're gonna get to do. Because the man is not expected to be home all of the time. He's expected to gather tons of resources and bring it home and be rewarded for it. That's the system, okay? And he's faithful, he's loyal, he's trustworthy, and he takes all of the blame for anything that might go wrong, and he fixes the problem immediately as soon as he possibly can. Okay? That's the 3 in love system in a nutshell. That's what she needs. And to be honest with you, her value as a woman, okay, all women are valuable, but a woman's value, she shows that there are 4 things, okay, that I always, you know, tell women that they should prioritize if they want to have a high value man. Number 1 is loyalty. She's loyal. Okay, I mean, she's one of the most loyal women that I've seen a video of, okay? She's loyal because she's been not dating because she just wants to find the one. That's loyal. Amazing. You got that down. Number 2, you have to be open, okay, at least to the idea of sharing the man. Sharing the man with your 2 best friends, okay? If you do that, if you're open to that, you elevate your value in the high value man's eyes like 500%, if not 5,000%. Okay, you don't understand the man's brain when it comes to this. Men are wired to have multiple women, but he actually, if he practices semen retention, he's actually wired in such a way that he'll be fulfilled, like literally gratified by having only 3, not 4, not 5, not mistresses, not this, that, and the other, 3. Okay? If he's practicing semen retention, trust me on this. He'll be fired up outside his brain. Okay? And a woman who says that she's willing to share a high value man, she increases her value 5,000% immediately, simply by stating the words, I'm looking into the 3 in love lifestyle. Ching, 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 ching. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what happens in men's brains. They might not say it to you, they might not speak it to you, but that's the truth of what happens. Just in the same way that you as a woman, if you're talking to a guy and he basically says that he's a millionaire, but he, you know, he's kind of humble about it and doesn't spread it all around and don't tell anyone, and, you know, and he actually is a millionaire and he's trustworthy and respectable, and, you know, and he meets your parents and he's like amazing people skills with them, and it's just like amazing. Like when he tells you that he would love to date you and he would love to, you know, continue a relationship with you, you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, that's the same kind of attitude that you would have as a man has when he hears that you want to share him. Okay? do you understand what I'm saying? The next one is femininity, and then the last one out of these 4 is beauty. Those are the 4 things that if a woman has that, a man will be like, she's an option. Okay, she's an option. Those are the 4 things. Very simple. And she's got it pretty much down, okay? The only thing she's missing is the 3 in love, which would elevate, you know, her value dramatically, immediately. And, you know, like, I don't think there's a shortage of men who actually want her. She has 100K subscribers. Trust me, half of them are probably men, okay, at least. And I highly doubt that there's not one in the comment section saying like, I'll marry you and I'll be with you and blah, blah, blah. Like, seriously, come on. Here, like, you're not alone. There's tons of guys. Look at this, okay? These guys, okay, you're not alone. A lot of people, you meet the right man one day. Let's see, you're not alone. It's here, 27, yeah, no. Yeah. I want a girl that is quiet, calm, and thoughtful. It's actually, they're quite amazing. Like, there's other channels that I've checked out where they basically, like, hammer the girl saying, I want to marry you, and I want to kiss you. And I'm like, bro, in the comment section, are you serious? You know, but she seems to have a very honorable comment section. She must be doing some really good videos and be, wow. Okay, let's go.
And I suppose at my age now, I'm kind of a little frustrated / scared that if it hasn't happened yet, will it happen?
I asked a guy in person.
Is there something wrong with me? Do I need to change? Because no man pursues me. And he said something like, a lot of men go for the girls that they think they can get. Oh, and that I come across as somebody who would take a lot of work to get to know. Oh, and that's something that I've struggled with a lot. Because, yeah, I've always heard and known that men seem to always go to the easier girls, but also they're attracted to this certain kind of personality, which is very, very loud, fun, funny, vivacious, laughing, giggling.
That is true. Okay, that's feminine. But in many ways she is quite feminine, but yeah, I have to bring that to the surface that if you are quiet, um not shy, but just introvert. That's the word, okay? If you as a woman are introvert, you're literally being masculine. That is a masculine trait. Why are you introvert? Is it because you've been told as a child that you weren't supposed to express your emotions? You weren't supposed to express your feelings? Every time you did, you got shut down. Every time, you said something, people would laugh at you, or people would do this, that, and the other. Why are you shy? And that's not her fault. It's the environment that caused her to become like that. But yes, that is a masculine trait, and men want women to be feminine, unburdened. It seems like she's very burdened from the fact that she doesn't want to, that it's difficult to get to know her. Usually women are, quite easy to get to know and all that stuff. But she seems also kind of like a loner. Okay, no offense to her, but I mean, she hasn't spoken about friends yet. She hasn't spoken about girls that her friends are getting married or her friends have all relationships and stuff like that. She's really just talking about her experience. And that's just me reading between the lines, saying that maybe like you don't have a lot of friends either, then probably, which also diminishes your return, in terms of what of your ability to become a little bit more outgoing, if that makes sense. So my first step with her would be to, find ways of doing activities with women, as much as possible. And that's a discipline. That's a focus. So it's a masculine thing that you need to use your latent masculinity to actually get in there and spend time with women, okay? But that in the long run is going to automatically make you more feminine. And if you feel more comfortable and more free to express your feelings and thoughts and emotions, then men will naturally become more attracted to that. So, I'm getting more information here. This is good.
Light, friendly, outgoing kind of girl. That kind of seems to be the what a lot of, if not most, men want. And I've almost never heard of men wanting.
She has the hair, though.
A woman who's more like me naturally. And I embrace myself, by the way. I embrace that I am this way, but I come off very serious, deep, quiet, thoughtful, and possibly some people would say nice or kind. But yeah, mostly.
Think about it this way. A man of high value goes out and gathers tons of resources, okay? And he does his work, and he comes home. And by the way, what he did at work was boring and mundane and took a lot of effort and a lot of brain power, and he's exhausted and he's tired, and he's coming home now to rest and to renew himself and renew his mind, etc. So he comes home, and his wife is there, but she's just there, and she's quiet, and she's, reading a book or whatever, and she's been at work herself, and she's like, how are you, honey? And you guys are talking back and forth, and but she's shy. Like, there's no life. And this is what femininity is. It's life. It's nurturing, okay? When a man is out there doing boring stuff every single day, he wants life. He wants giggling. He wants laughter. He wants all the stuff that you mentioned earlier. That is extremely hard to do for a shy, introvert woman by herself. But if she actually had two other friends that were, maybe even if they were introvert themselves, they would naturally become extrovert together. In the home, at least. If they by nature are introverts, that's not a problem. Because like compared to other families, maybe they're a little bit more introvert, in terms of when they go out into the society together. But when they're at home, like they'll be introvert out there, but at home they'll be extrovert because they're free. Like I know of tons of girls who are massively introverts when they're out there, in society at large or at school or whatever. And then when they're with their friends, just with their inner circle friends, or just with their best friend, or just with their family, they're so outspoken and they can do this and that and the other, and like there's no problems at all being noisy and excited and bubbly and blah blah blah, because they feel protected there. Okay, so in many ways I think that's one of the things that, you know, women these days don't feel protected, and so they end up kind of becoming more introvert and wanting to protect themselves. That's a natural occurrence, as men are not there to protect and provide. Right? I would love to hear more about her parents, her upbringing, and what has caused her to be like this, because that would help me to explain a little bit better how the situation is.
Serious and mature. I am only describing how other people would describe me, and also how I describe myself, but it's hard to describe yourself without being scared that people will think you're being prideful. I also have like these I also have different beliefs about dating than most people do. I've never understood normal dating nowadays. I've never understood how that works. To me, it's still so weird. Dating rules, like on the first date you can have a kiss, or on the second date this, or the third date you can blah, blah, blah. Those were just crazy to me, because you often go on dates with people that you don't even know. And to expect a kiss after the first date, or the first time that you know someone, or even, dare I say, sex after the first date, or sex after the third date, or all of that, those things are like mind-blowing to me.
Messed up. That's really the word, okay? Yeah, mind-blowing, absolutely horrific what's going on out there. Never, ever, ever participate in that dating culture. It's horrible for women. Horrible. And it's also very bad for men, might I add. Wow, we totally agree there, Myra.
I just don't understand them. And I also don't believe in it personally for me. I don't believe in dating at all. I believe in friendship. And my ideal relationship.
I am so sick of editing this video. I accidentally deleted an entire 9-minute clip of me talking. But basically I was just saying that I believe that you should have a friendship first before dating. And also, for full transparency, I was saying that I did have one boyfriend in my life.
Apart from that.
She did have one boyfriend. Okay, interesting. I would like to hear more about that, though. I mean, this is part of her being shy and introvert, that she doesn't express all of the details and everything that's going on. Maybe because she doesn't have the skills in doing that, because she's been introvert her entire life. And she, you know, I think it's amazing, though, that she's actually managed to build up a huge channel on YouTube. But I think that's because there's a lot of people relating to her, okay? In that they're shy and introvert and you know, kind of have the same beliefs as her. And they're becoming more and more and more and more of those, which is actually a good thing, because they're very introspective, so to speak. They reflect a lot, which is great, okay? It's horrible from the standpoint of perfectionism, okay? Like, they become very perfectionist type of mentality, academics type of things, which is a problem long term, but it will eventually lead you to the right path. Because there's so much readily available information right now to actually get the information that you need for you to have, you know, healthy and happy life. And those that don't reflect, they never figure that out. They just, you know, become streetwise, whatever. But if you manage to couple that knowledge that you have, that she's developed, now with the actual, you know, practice which she needs help with, then everything is going to work out fine for her. Like, literally within 3 months or 6 months, you know, it would be easy for me to find someone who wanted to monogamously date her and actually even be, you know, celibate with her for a time and be friends. Okay. Just, you know, from a 3 in love perspective, it maybe take me 18 months to 2 years to 3 years, depending upon the personal growth that she goes through as well during that time frame. Although the majority of the work will be obviously on the man's side, but it would be easy for me to find someone who wants her and she wants him within the next 2 to 3 years if she actually committed to the system that we've got. Easy. Okay, so and then she says that I'll probably be single for the rest of my life. Not necessary. Okay, we know how love works. Okay, there's a science to it. It's a cause and effect type of thing. And we simply, and the dating aspect is beautiful because you're expected to be voluntary celibate in this movement during the dating process. There's no sexual relationships, there's no kissing, there's no intimacy involved there, because you got to make sure that this is right, okay, from the get-go for a long time. Now, very often, like, I would think 6 months at least that you consistently date each other before you find out if you want to be part of this family or not. Okay, 6 months is like minimum. Which would require a lot of discipline from the man's side. The woman would automatically follow his lead. So if the man ends up wanting to have sex with her, then she probably would if she really, really likes him. But the man has the ability to say no and to say, let's postpone it, let's build it up. And that's a small rejection that actually keeps a woman interested if she's voluntary celibate herself like her. Do you see how this woman is actually a perfect match for the 3 in love category, because all of her problems would be solved, okay? And she would have friends, and she would, like, she's talking about a friend now. I want to hear what she says about that. But listen as she talks, because she's going to mention things that sound feminine. So she's looking for a guy who has feminine attributes and qualities because she's quite masculine herself, which is what masculine women are looking for. They're looking for their opposite, but that because opposites attract, but then she kind of wants someone who's kind of like her. Did you see how that's a very interesting scenario, right? So what she needs, though, is friends that are best friends like her, who she completely relates to and who completely understands her, which only women will ever be able to do, by the way. And then she has a polar opposite man who's actually living his role. She's living his role together with her best friends. And then they have a family together where the man has his role, they have their roles, and it's amazing. Okay? But listen to her as she talks about, I want a friend. You want a girl. Okay? And if a man does that and becomes a friend to you, you're gonna lose attraction. Like having a lover and a friend, only possible in 3 in love. Only possible in 3 in love. Like, and I'm talking lover, okay? Not just lover, okay? Anyone can get a lover and a friend, right? You'll enjoy the friend, but the lover, I mean, really? Was that it? He's the one, the only person I get to have sex with for the rest of my life, and I'm not attracted to him after like 2 years? Man. Life is longer than that. You know that, right? It's like 50, 60 years that you're going to live with this fella. Okay? Like, whoa. If you're not going to be attracted after 2 years, that sucks. And like, my wife is with me still. We've been married for 11 and a half years now. She's still like attracted to me, but she's not pulled. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, of course I can build my frame. I could do a lot of personal development, whatever, to look better and all that crap. Okay, but we understand the psychology. If you understand how women function, you'll understand that they don't really base everything on looks. They base everything on power. Okay, a man's ability to do. Can I improve in my ability to do? Yeah, of course, and I progress every single day, continuously. But progression involves failure, right? So the fact that you fail on a daily basis continuously, even though you're progressing, you look like a failure. And that turns a woman off. This is one of the main reasons why monogamy doesn't work, people. If you don't understand how to become successful, it's a bunch of failures. And if you're monogamous and you have one friend, and very often that's what happens in monogamous relationships, you have one friend and you tell each other everything, don't you? Well, guess what? The guy is going to tell her his failures. And then she's going to listen to him and she's like, yeah. And he fails at home a lot too, and he sucks at taking care of the kids, and he's so risky with them. And my son almost broke his arm the other day because he threw him up in the air too high, and he was crazy, and like, he's so stupid, and you know, but yeah, I do like him as a friend though. Yuck! That's a horrible relationship. 3 in love, you can actually have the lover, okay, but also the friend. Because he can actually come down to your guys' level, you know, but he'll always resist a little bit because he's a man. Do you get it? So there's always going to be a tension between you, and that's what you need for desire in a relationship. So you'll actually have love and depth, but you'll have lust and desire, and that's what you were designed to do as a woman. You weren't designed to not have lust for the rest of your life. And lust in the positive word. Lust just means intense sexual desire. Okay, there's nothing wrong with lust if you think that that word has a negative connotation to it. Anyway, I could go on for hours about this, but I wanted to hear what she wanted to say about her friend.
Having one boyfriend who I was fully committed to and thought that I was going to marry and thought was going to marry me, I haven't dated anybody. I haven't had any close calls. I haven't had any involvement with men. It's crazy. And it's not because I haven't wanted to. It's because A, I haven't met the right guy. I haven't met a man that is good enough to meet my standards of...
Ooh, that's a tough one too. A man of high value. He needs to be more intellectually powerful than her. He needs to make more money than her. He needs to do a lot of things better than her. That's what she's attracted to. And I bet you that she is somewhat of a career woman. I don't know what she is. Could I... I really don't know what she is. I mean, obviously she's a YouTuber now. She's making good money from there. But what... a clerk of some sort? I don't know. Or working as an engineer or architect. Maybe she's an architect. I don't know.
what I'm looking for in a partner. But also, I haven't ever been pursued by a guy, and I don't believe in conventional modern day dating or casual dating, and I don't have any desire to meet a stranger and then suddenly be expected to be romantic, because that's what like a lot of modern dating is. Like, for example, online dating. If you go on a date with somebody you met online, you're expected to maybe have a kiss after the first date or something, and I'm like, what? No thanks. I tried online dating twice. I went on 2 dates for coffee. And boy, were those bad. They were bad. They were so awkward and made me realize that online dating is not for me, and I will never, ever, ever do it again.
Awesome. Quite interesting what she says, that she didn't want it to be romantic immediately, which is kind of tricky, because that's what happens. You put a man and a woman together in a setting of some sort, there's going to be tension, meaning there's going to be some sort of romantic inclination between them no matter what you do. I remember when I was an Uber driver, okay? Just the fact that a woman is sitting next to you in the car, somewhat, it's like you're isolated there, and they're like, yeah, obviously we're complete strangers, but there's still tension. If they're, obviously, I'm extremely good at dissolving that tension and making sure that, we could talk about whatever and all that stuff. But the simple fact of a woman being isolated with the man is kind of, for women, it's just like, there's something romantic about it automatically if he has a masculine way of being, if that makes sense. If the guy is feminine little girl, then there's not going to be any tension between. There's not going to be any romantic stuff going on, okay? But once a woman meets a man and who doesn't speak a lot, and who's more introvert, that's masculine, and who's and who asks deep questions and that type of stuff, like, women they become a little bit more uncomfortable if they're by themselves with that man, and that's a good thing because that creates tension. But if she's together with other women, then that eases the tension a lot more, okay? And that's kind of... So yeah, for her to meet a guy and be friends first, no romantic involvement, and then that leads to romantic involvement, it probably won't be very romantic over time. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of people marrying their best friend or whatever, but it's a recipe for attraction disaster, right? Because, like, those are polar opposites in monogamy. The what I just mentioned earlier, just the lover and the best friend type of thing. They don't go together, even though women want it to, because women are like collective creatures. So women, even though they look at monogamy, in their brains, it's still 3 in love, and we're trying to fulfill the roles of 4 people in this monogamous marriage. That doesn't work very well. And expecting the man to be feminine and masculine, he's going to be horrible at both. If you want to get good at something, you need to focus on one thing, right? Well, what does focus stand for? Is to follow one course until successful. If you want the man to be masculine and to be feminine, he'll be going in this direction. And he'll end up actually moving towards femininity because you, by nature, are feminine as a woman. And what are you going to do? You want to become more feminine and unburdened, which is what femininity is, but you're becoming more masculine. And you're leaning towards masculinity because he's masculine. Do you see how warped this becomes in monogamy? It's just a mess. And that's the family system. That's the foundation of the whole world, right? And you look at the world today, does it look good? No, okay? When you see in Canada 200 police officers throwing tear gas into a church for them gathering because they weren't wearing masks and they were gathering and they weren't allowed to assemble, like, what kind of sick world is that? That's a world that comes from monogamy, okay? Believe it or not. And I could go on a whole rampage about why that specific thing or any other problem you see in society comes from monogamy.
Because it's just not, it's not going to work. I'm not going to meet a stranger and then meet them under those circumstances where like a romantic relationship is kind of expected immediately. I want to find someone to be friends with.
So in 3 in Love, it actually would be romantic immediately, but the man would actually not be intimate with them, if that makes sense. I mean, yeah, you could do that in monogamy as well, but it's extremely hard if you're really attracted to each other. Okay? Like, because there's a lot of isolation going on, or else you can't be friends. The thing with 3 in Love is that you'll have each other, but you'll also have 2 others making sure that no one gets physical and intimate. Like, it's a lot harder to get, multiple people on the same page to be intimate with each other than just one-on-one. Because that can happen one night, suddenly you can't control each other, and suddenly you gotta do it, you know what I mean? So, let me get my battery real quick. I'm gonna fix that.
I would never try to pursue a friendship with somebody because I wanted to date them. It would be pursuing friendship simply because I think they're an amazing human being and I want them in my life and I want to support them and get to know them truly and develop like a friendship, a relationship with them. There was absolutely no point in recording all of this other than to explain my situation and to explain a little bit how I feel about it. And I think I said it all in a very disorganized pattern. My thoughts were all bloop, 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 bloop. That's why
Femininity. Yeah, my thoughts are sometimes like that as well. But that's just because I don't have opportunity to put these together so that they're short and concise and straight to the point and all that stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it is a feminine trait though.
Should have written down what I was going to say, but I did actually end up saying all of it at the end. Anyway, it was nice talking. I hope you enjoyed. I'm so sorry my thoughts were very fragmented this time. It took me a long time to warm up in front of the camera, and I think you can tell from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. Oh, well, you know what? If there's one thing that I want you to learn from this, or if I want one thing I want you to glean from this, it would be think about the girl that you don't think you could get. Think about why, like if she's a good, high-quality woman with...
So does she mostly talk to men? Because she's like talking interesting.
Good character. And just choose to try. Like, choose to put in the extra effort to get to know her. If she's shy, as I am, very, very shy, put in the effort to get to know this girl because I promise you she's special and you wouldn't regret it. I would say if you think you can't get a girl, you should try because chances are, if you don't think you can get a girl, a certain girl, chances are all of the other men in her life also think that. So she's actually struggling to find anyone because no one is pursuing her because they all think that they can't get her. Oh.
That does happen a lot, but it happens a lot more for those that don't want to participate in the casual dating game, right? There's a lot of guys these days that have been told so many nightmare stories of what marriage and all that stuff does to a man these days, and how women divorce them and all that stuff. So men are very hesitant these days about being involved with women at all, actually. And I mean, in many ways, it's bad, but it's also like, it's very interesting that that's what we're moving towards. We're moving towards a society where there's, on the one side, very open lifestyles, so to speak, where, men and women have sex with multiple partners and party a lot and do all that type of stuff. And then you've got the other side, who actually are more family oriented. They're down to earth, and they actually want true joy, bliss, and happiness, not just the temporary one. They're kind of in a very kind of difficult situation, because they don't find each other very often, and they end up both parties being single on that side. There's a reason why we or millennials are having less sex than their grandparents did at their age. There's a reason for that. Look up the statistics and facts on that, but it's very interesting.
Okay, thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And thanks so much for showing support for me as a human. I can't tell you how much this past year has meant to me. My channel blowing up has actually meant a lot. It's given me so much purpose and direction, and it's helped me so much by making me feel like I'm making a difference of some sort. I'm looking at a spider, I'm sorry. I'll say it again. That this channel gives me a sense of purpose, because you guys sometimes make me feel like the things I'm saying is helping in some way. And that is the only thing I want. That's the only purpose of this channel, is to maybe provide value to you and other people, to maybe make you feel not as alone, or to make you feel seen. Like, the reason I share my struggles is so that others can relate, and to know that there are people who are struggling with the same things. That's why I do it. All right, bye.
Absolutely. Amazing. Is there more? There's 4 minutes left. Okay.
Whoa, I just saw a baby bunny or something. That's what I get for being out in nature. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Forgot that I was on record. Okay. So my phone is trying to get the lighting right. How's my hair?
I have no idea how to record this video. Doesn't that sound like another video? Okay, let's do a real one. I'm an idiot. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not in the mood to record. I'm also very out of practice. Also, the lighting is super weird here.
Should we listen to this?
What you doing with your life? I just realized I'll never be able to hold the camera up like this. Also, I don't think this is usable. I also know that I'm not in a mood to record, and all of this is shit. And I'm causing a really bad issue for myself editing later. My eyes are so pretty.
Oh, she's funny. Yeah, okay, you're great, Myra.
Okay. This can work. I recently turned 23 today. What? Okay.
Happy
Restart.
birthday.
You're struggling today. I recently turned 23. Snap out of it. That's mud over there. Oh, crap. This is so bad. Which kind of means that I already kind of,
Anyway, we're gonna stop there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. You guys are amazing. Let's see, the volume on your YouTube isn't put to max, bro. That is why it's low. Probably. So, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one.